Okay, first at 6, don't cry uncle in this case, because the drug dealer about to be sentenced is the Providence Police Chief's nephew, and his other uncle is a Providence sergeant who's been dragged into this too. I'm Gene Valicenti.
And I'm Emily Voles. Patrice is off tonight. The I-Team's Brian Crandall looked through those court records. He joins us live now with the details. Brian?
Emily, Gene, Josh Perez is the nephew of both Providence Police Chief and a sergeant who headed a drug intelligence unit. Now, the feds busted Josh Perez in 2022, and in court documents, prosecutors called the sergeant, quote, either a knowing or unwitting participant in his nephew's drug trafficking. Federal prosecutors called Jasdrual, Josh Perez, one of the most prolific drug traffickers in Providence, the leader of a large-scale fentanyl operation. He pleaded guilty earlier this year and is set to be sentenced in federal court in Boston Monday. Despite being such a high-profile dealer, the feds write in their new sentencing filing, their investigators found no evidence Providence police ever investigated him or even had a single piece of paper on him in their files. Perez is the nephew of Chief Oscar Perez and Sergeant Andres Perez. The FBI looked into the links. The feds in the new filings zero in on Andres Perez, writing, quote, the investigation also uncovered evidence of the involvement of Perez's uncle, Andres Perez, as either a knowing or unwitting participant in Perez's drug trafficking activities. The feds also note Andres Perez has firmly denied any involvement, and the feds do not anticipate charging him. But prosecutors write Josh Perez was either such a mastermind he duped those closest to him, including drug investigators, or that he benefited from his connections to Providence police. Sergeant Andres Perez's lawyer tells us, quote, while it might make for an interesting read to point out that this defendant has an uncle who's a police officer, it remains the hallmark of unfairness to read anything more into it than that. Chief Perez has not gotten back to us. And the Providence mayor's office says police cooperated with the FBI investigation, that there's no evidence any officer did anything wrong, and therefore no one has been disciplined. The feds are seeking a 25-year prison sentence for Josh Perez. I'm Brian Crandall, NBC 10 News.
Brian, thanks. And another defendant in the same case was just sentenced to 10 years in federal prison. Prosecutors say 36-year-old Eric Ventura transported large amounts of drugs and cash to New York and distributed thousands of fentanyl pills in Massachusetts.